Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book reviews, book hauls and the occasional vlog, and today I have another writing tips video for you. Before we get into that, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you want to see it as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. In today's writing tips video, we will be discussing critique partners. In particular, what are they, how do you get them, and how do you use them as a writer? This video is following on from my beta reader videos of what they are and how to get them, and also how to be a good beta reader. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll put a link above and below this video. Part 1. What is a critique partner? A critique partner is a fellow writer. Generally, critique writers, you use them as you're writing, and you often swap books together and do it chapter by chapter. Sometimes you are still using them whilst you're writing the book. Critique partners are the first people, apart from yourself, to read your work. The main difference, obviously, between them and beta readers is that as a fellow writer, they should know more about the nitty-gritty and what you are doing as a writer to give those opinions that they're getting from your work. Whereas a beta reader is normally a reader who knows what you are giving out, but possibly doesn't know how you're giving that or why they're getting those opinions. So you use the critique partner to make sure you've got rid of a lot of the bad ones that you don't necessarily want someone to read. Then you do the beta reader, and after that it is the professional edits, because we're not made of money. Nobody wants to pay to have a first draft read, generally because your first draft is rather awkward. To be honest, by the time you give it to a beta reader, you're probably up to your third or fourth draft. Critique partners, let's say second or third. Normally, it depends on your relationship with your critique partner. Now, this leads us on to part 2. What is the role of a critique partner? The role of a critique partner can be split into 2 parts. Part 1 is to keep you writing. A critique partner is there to read your work and also to offer encouragement. They can often give you deadlines. If you are swapping with a fellow writer a chapter a week or so many chapters a month, then you have to hit that deadline and get those chapters to them. This can keep you going on your current project and ultimately make you finish the book. And 2 is obviously to critique. They will look at your work and generally look for plot holes, look for world building issues, look for any difficulties, any characterizations that aren't coming across, any characters which are too similar, names that don't work, if you are repeating a lot of sentences, or if you are telling instead of showing. These are things they will generally look for and let you know about. But they sound pretty useful, right? They're gonna try to help you not do the general problems that we fall into. So that leads us to part 3. Where do you find them? Critique partners are similar to beta readers in how you find them. You can have friends who are writers. For example, I critique Matt's work and he critiques mine, and I also critique my sister's and she will critique mine also. So we swap each other's work all the time. But if you don't know people personally, you can find them in book clubs, in writers clubs, you can find them online. Put a message out and you might be surprised at how many of your friends secretly write. For some reason, it's not something we're very vocal about, and it's often something people shy away from. I think it's because if you say you're a writer, people are like, oh, what have you written? And instantly you're like, oh no. Because you might not necessarily be published. And if you are published, you might not be traditionally published. The horror. Or you might even be published under a pen name for various reasons you don't want to discuss. Who knows? There are so many different reasons why you don't want people to know. And that's okay until you need to advertise. Once you start advertising people, you got to start just letting it out there. People need to know. But when you're in the writing stage, you might not want people to know, and there's nothing wrong with that. So finding a critique partner, sometimes you don't want someone as close to home maybe as I have. I'm just lucky that my partner also likes writing and is very creative, and that my sister has an English language degree and is also really into reading and writing and will read my work and not laugh at me afterwards. Or at least not to my face. I don't see her face often. She lives away. Do you laugh at me, Nicole? Do you laugh? But there are so many ways to find them. Just put a plea out there, guys, and other writers will come if they feel they have the time. Which brings us to part 4. How many critique partners should you have? Unlike beta readers, where you want as many as you can possibly handle, critique partners, you have to do something for them in general. It might not be at the same time, but you should definitely repay the work that they have read. A beta reader gets repaid because they are reading your book and they are an avid reader. A critique partner is looking a bit more nitty-gritty into your work. So they probably expect you to look at their work too, in which case look at your own schedule. How many people's work can you read? Which brings us to the last part 5. Things to keep in mind whilst you are choosing critique partners. As we said before, it is not like a beta reader where you have a vast variety of them. You won't have as many critique partners as you do beta readers, and you want to keep a few things in mind. 1. Different strengths from your own. There is no point having a critique partner who is a grammar Nazi if you yourself are also a grammar Nazi. It is likely that you have found all of those grammar mistakes. Look for critique partners who have different strengths. For example, Matt has amazing world building. He has fantastical plot ideas. It's crazy. He's not necessarily as good at characterization. I love characters, so I will look at his characters. If they compel me to care about them, if I don't care about them, I tell him, because I need to care about them to like the book. Or things like my sister is a grammar Nazi and I am terrible. I am terrible at spelling. I am terrible at grammar. Hence why I was a English as a second language teacher abroad. People trusted me with their children. Yeah, I will always give my word to her. She will grammar Nazi that and tell me how shit I am. But that is a good thing because I need to be told. Number 2, mutual understanding. This is of the deadlines that you want to keep each other to, of how you're going to repay each other for the critique work. You need to have a mutual agreement and understand where each other are coming from and what you both expect from the arrangement. 3, genre. There is no point having a critique partner read a fantasy romance if they hate fantasy and hate romance, because they will ultimately hate reading your work. Same with your beta readers, as I said in that. You want to find the people who are into your work because those are the people you're writing for. Don't find a critique partner who has absolutely nothing to do with the types of books you're writing, because they themselves A, won't enjoy it, and B, won't have studied what you need to do to necessarily create a good book, because why would they? They're not trying to write that kind of book, so why would they need to know about it? And number 4, experience. How to be a snob on camera. I don't mean experience as in age-wise or anything like that. Base your critique partners on how experienced you are as well as how experienced they are, because if you are a really new writer, you probably won't be a critique partner to someone like Jenna Moreci, who is a huge author tuber. She has written 3 books and they've all sold really well. She's not going to care about your opinions as a writer. You might be her beta reader, but you're not going to be a critique partner to her. But for other indie writers, yes. And think about how many books have they written, even if they're not published. How many have they written? How much time and energy do they spend perfecting their craft? They might know their stuff and know what to look for. It sounds terrible, but if you want your book to do well, you need to obviously get it critiqued well. And the critiquing process is the first stage of editing. The more they can find, the better for you in the long run. Don't disqualify people based on their experience, of course. If you think they're going to be good and they are so enthusiastic and you think they know enough, give your book to them. But just bear in mind, different people are going to have different strengths and weaknesses. And that is it for this writing tips video. I hope you guys found that useful. If you are looking for a critique partner, ultimately guys, just have fun. Writing needs to be enjoyable. It is making a book baby and you should be so proud of that. And if you are critiquing someone's work, A, well done, because that person really trusts you, because they are showing you their book baby before anyone else, and that is such a privilege. And they also believe in your ability, so well done, because someone really trusts your opinions and believes that you can help them and make their work better. So well done if you are a critique partner. If you are looking for critique partners, don't forget they are everywhere, guys. Just put a plea out there and you will find them. And if you are busy writing a book, well done for getting this far and good luck in finishing your book baby. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram or Tumblr. I post your own bookish pictures as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!